Hi guys, I know there's no one on, but I know the video is recorded, but we are actually here tonight. I'm gonna put that away. I was trying to find out how to share on all the other videos, but we are actually here tonight to talk about what is the feeling of. Um, Everybody has different opinion on what love is. It's different for every single person what love is. What's important that it brings joy inside. Um, I've actually known what it means to me my whole life, but always been reluctant to not share my love. I have a bundle of that, but let's see if I can do something about these lights. Okay, I know I have to put that lamp somewhere else, or let's see. Oh, sorry. But um, I've always shared my love. But being an empath, you also get a lot of other emotions. You get other people's feeling in, and growing up, that was pretty tough because sometimes you didn't know if it was the other people's feelings or it was yours, and it got mixed up. But I've learned to uh, divide it without dividing it. I know it sounds weird, but that's something you learn, and it's very hard to explain. Um, but the other day, I talked to one of my very, very close friends, and we actually talked for about, I think it was an hour and a half. Talked about all kinds of things that you talk to with your friends. But she said some things that make some of my last puzzles fall into place. Yeah, I'm 44, but sometimes things you keep on learning through your entire life. That how I should explain how it is to be me. Um, Imagine a body and you have your core yourself uh, in a bubble, not in a negative way, but like a kind of light protection. And out the rest of it, you are like a vacuum, and that vacuum gets filled with every emotion around you. Uh, but if you don't learn to have that uh, vacuum around yourself, it all get jumbled, yourself and the other emotion. But when I learned to uh, protect what's me and what's the others, uh, my life actually turned around and became more positive. Um, I love my kids relentlessly. I have unconditional love for them. I think it's a mother thing, but I have I've had boyfriends and I have been married before, and but if I have to be honest with myself, I never felt what I do now. Uh, and I know in that point in my life where I felt to understand, to separate me from other people's feeling was the day I actually uh, met my husband as an adult. That we later found out that we have bumped into each other throughout our lives without realizing it. Um, but when we found each other, we found that connection. Um, I got a new feeling. I felt the unconditional love that I have for my kids, I certainly and my mom and dad and stuff, family stuff, that's normal. But I found that there was another person that I could share another kind of love with. Not that I haven't had love and boyfriends and like I said before, but that extreme feeling you have when you have unconditional love. Um, Unconditional love is very hard to explain, but when I met my husband and it was like that, um, I never thought I would have that. So that was a big positive turnaround for me. Um, I had to know if it was real, you know, and it was. We are been together for 17 years, married for 16. Even though people in the beginning said that our relationship wouldn't last, or it would crumble, because we were both very stubborn and controlling, and but that's yeah, that's true. We are what, in my terms, to explain that we are. If you use the terms from the animal world, we are both alpha, and in a big way. Um, but the funny thing is that in my family, without people accepting it and knowing it, but they know it, but it's just something not talked about, that the oldest female always has been the alpha, except my grandma. Uh, and me, I think I chose to skip that part, even though that part follows me. Um, I think I learned that from my mom. But it was something unwritten, unsaid, and it's okay. Um, you can be an alpha without stepping on anybody else. Being a true, as terms as the animal alpha, is to help your family, to be there, to be the one they can draw on when they are down. But in reverse, they are also there when they can see the one who chose to be strong is down, and lift it up because it benefit the entire family. And to return, um, my husband's family, it was always the male. Uh, Again, like I explained, like my family, it's not something they talk about. Not, it's just known. Um, it's nothing you need to explain. It's just how it is. Like with a wolf pack. A wolf doesn't explain it. It's just how it is. So this is how it is. That we humans, without knowing it, we are also animals, and we also have that part. We are just very stubborn and annoyed that we have to accept that's how it is. But we know it's there and not willing to accept it. But we know we have to. I guess I have accepted it, but for many people it's very hard, and it's okay because we're not all alike, but at the same time we're just one big pack with a lot of little packs. And but to get back to the topic, um, we we have a lot of emotion, and but no one can explain what an emotion are, because it's just something you feel. And then imagine to feel other people's feeling. It's weird because when I was growing up, I actually never talked about this before. It was easier to feel those who were gone. After I turned down, I think I was 12 when I started to accept that. They talked to me, not in the sense that you think like they use words and yap all the time. I'm showing like people's like I when I tell my husband what I'm doing, I'm when I'm sitting, for example, we are driving in a car and I'm just staring out the window and he's asking what I'm thinking about. Um, but the way I had to explain it was I'm seeing a movie. It's like seeing a movie inside your head um, with pictures, sometimes words, sometimes numbers. Sometimes they connect, sometimes they don't, sometimes they uh, are confusing because you jump from one place to another. Suddenly you are in what other people would call a fantasy world, and that's okay to call it that. It's just because people don't understand it that you're suddenly not a human, you are a deer or a wolf, or you are an owl. uh, it's like you are inside that particular animal, or you are another person and you see things through that person's eyes, and but you are a bit confused because you know that you are sitting in a car uh, with your husband and driving, and it's very confusing. But uh, that's the best way I can explain it. It's seeing things in pictures inside your head that sometimes has no relation to you at all. Like one time, uh, I, it was pretty scary, but like I said, we should talk about love, and we are going to. I woke up because it was a dream. You see these movies when you're awake, when you're asleep, and your subconscious trying to help you to sort it all out. I appreciate a subconscious work. Not many appreciate that energy, but if they did, they would be open up to a lot of other things. I found that out. Um, Sometimes I'm actually asleep, feeling that I'm awake. Um, and sometimes I'm awake, feeling that I'm asleep. Um, it's hard to explain. But to the story, I was woken up, scary, uh, because I saw something and I couldn't figure out what it was. If it was real, or it was something I dreamt, or it was one of the movies, or someone was trying to show me something. But at that point in my life, even though it was a scary, scary, scary experience, it actually healed me, um, put me that step further to accept that part of me that need to open up. But at the same time, I just learned that I also have to shut down. And it's very, very hard to do both. But I'm being told that I can't do both. So that's what I'm trying right now. But the scary thing was that, and my husband was, actually can't remember if he was home. I don't think so, because I called my friend in the middle of the night. I don't think he was home. I woke up and I felt like this big black mass was coming right toward me. Very fast, but at the same time very slow. And it's opened its mouth, but it had a mouth without no mouth. And it had eyes without it being eyes. Um, and it was like it was yelling at me without making a sound. I know that sounds totally crazy, and it's not something I can prove, it's just something I experience. And I don't think I need to prove it, because no, I don't know. It's up to people themselves. But when I experienced that, I woke up, I was sweaty, it was scary, it was um, weird, but at the same time, I felt calm. I felt okay. Uh, I felt um, at peace. At the same time, I felt fear. At the same time, I felt I was filled with love. At the same time, I was filled with anger. Imagine that you feel that you are filled up with every single emotion there exists at once, at the same time. And I simply had to call my friend, because something of all that commotion inside and outside, and I normally sleep with the lights on, because that's make me feel more comfortable, because I need dark and light. I don't know why. I've always had that. Either there has to be a big noisy radio with music playing, or a TV, or there has to be total silence and a light by my bed and dark around. It's weird. But I felt all those emotions at once. But, oh, pardon me, coffee coming up. Well, I knew something told me that if I called that particular friend, because I would get the answer I need. It was, it was before I had even talked to many people about my abilities. I knew I had them. I talked about it, but not in depth. There were very few people I talked to about it in depth. Family and foster kids, and those of my foster kids who experienced, I never dismissed them, and I took them seriously. So they could move on in life and have a good life without people thinking they were weird. They could always talk to me. But this was something I have never really opened up to, except to my two biological kids and my husband. And my husband is actually a skeptic, but he took it seriously, because he experienced some things that make him take me seriously, because the souls got angry that he needed to take me seriously. But I called my friend at 3 a.m, and I said to her, "Sorry, I'm calling, but I really need to talk to you. I just experienced something I cannot put words into. I understand it, but I don't understand it." And when I explained to her how I felt, and I apologized, and in the same sentence, that if I sound angry, it was not with her I was angry. She said, "Don't worry about it. Keep going. I will not interrupt." And I explained to her what I just explained to you, how I had that experience and what it was doing to me, and I simply asked her, what the heck was that? Was it real? Was it a picture in my head? What was it? And she calmed me after half an hour explaining to her of everything. It was like a roller coaster inside me at that point. But the roller coaster was standing still, so it all came at once. She said, it's nothing to be afraid of, but most people are afraid of it, him. They have many names for it. But it's you need to accept it, because it's, and she told me she was only telling what she felt right there and then. She needed to tell me, not that she knew where the information came from, but she just knew that was what I was supposed to know. But I had a visit from chaos, and trust me, I just thought, what? I had a visit from chaos, but I always thought that chaos was bad. And sister, no, neither. What you see, the shadow in the background, that's just my dog. It was that chaos is not bad in itself, and balance is not good in itself. It's not bad or good, and chaos is not bad or good. They are what humans would consider neutral. They are neutral energies. Is the best way to explain it, and that's how she explained it to me. That I was the only reason that he visited was that maybe because I had too much balance inside. I needed to outbalance the balance to get balance and chaos. It's weird, but I did that. It took some time, but I did what she said. I started to accept that yin yang, as people know the term. That's why I use that term, because that's how people usually understand that you cannot have one without the other, or they are. The first way to explain that, when I talk to people, that you have to see them as like you see a husband and wife. They can agree, they can disagree, they can agree to disagree, but still have that unconditional love, and they still have all those feelings like you have in a marriage. That people don't talk about. The people usually don't talk about the bad feelings, but it's wrong. But that's actually how me and my husband's relationship have lasted. It's because we don't keep anything from each other, neither the good or the bad. That if he does something or says something that annoys me, I tell him, and vice versa. So does he with me. But we don't try to change one another. Maybe I am annoying to some things for him, but to love unconditionally is to accept all of you, all of the other person. So I accept even the things that annoys or weird for me or disgusting, or because if you want all the good, the joy, the laughs, the chaos, the balance, if you want to experience unconditional love, that's what you need. And I'm glad, pleased, and I am very pleased to see that more and more people in the world are starting to realize that. Um, I'm not perfect. I don't wish to be perfect at all. It's first of all boring, and no new idea can come from being perfect. Um, because if you create something perfect, uh, both the idea of the perfect either item or thing will die out, um, because there's no room for new idea to improve or dismiss or anything. So it, I don't have anything against people who suffer from perfection. I don't know the word in English, but perfectionism. Uh, but it's like when you see someone with OCD or perfection that they want the things on the shelf to stand in a certain position. But that's not being perfect. That's accepting that's that's perfect for that person. Maybe another person walked into the room and that person got OCD, and the way the things are on the shelf are totally wrong for that person. There will be a collision, but that's just proof that perfection is not perfect, if people know what I mean. Um, that was just a side thing to explain that I have nothing against people who have those issues. But I'm not trying to be perfect. I don't want to be perfect. I'm probably gonna make a lot of mistakes in here, but you know what? I'm an energy living a body's life right now. That's the best way to explain how I think inside. Because we are all energy. Uh, that's something I have realized a couple of years ago, but it's actually the first time I talk about it live to strangers. I know that's not someone on, but it's okay. You should be able to do this when you talk about these things when there are people and when there are not people. Um, yes, I've done all of this technical share the video that YouTube do that, do that, do. I accept that that's how it is and did all that. But uh, when I see a YouTube video, when I see a movie, when I, not in here, but on the TV or on the computer screen, imagine the emotion, for example, the actors are sending out through their acting, through their uh, sense for drama. Even when I make a video with acting or call it what you want, fun, I'm sending out some energy. That energy get pushed out, and those who watch will receive those energies. But here's the tricky part. Uh, if you receive those energy, every single energy that receives that other energy gets an entire different emotion than the one who sent it out. It's like communication. I may be saying all this, and my interpretation of my message with my opinion is one thing. I understand that in one way, but when you hear what I'm saying, remember you are the receiver. Um, I'm the message, you are the receiver, you are the record, the device that received that. Your interpretation of what you're receiving maybe be totally different from my perspective or my idea, my laying of that message. So that's what I'm seeing in the world right now, is that we all want, I don't like the word want, but I will explain after. We all want to get along. We all want peace. We all want love, but we also want thrills and the world not to be boring. We actually, what we really want is, I can explain, the best way I can explain it. We want both chaos and balance, but we want it to be mixed without any violence. And I'm all for that. That violence is a bad thing. But sometimes it's gonna sound weird, violence is necessary. But remember, that's all it is. Nothing more. I loathe violence, but there's difference between wants and needs. It's like love. We all want that uh, pink cloud love, but how would life look if we all were floating on with pink clouds and oh, it's all good? We would be fucking bored. Uh, and the violence that will be born of that will be would would be more violence than anyone could ever imagine if we all were living on pink clouds, because out of things get born out of goodness and things get born out of badness, and the good thing can be born out of badness and bad thing can be born out of goodness. That's like circles. It's life and death circle. It's just how it is. But imagine being a soul, an energy, seeing us, seeing us living. Um, what reference can I use? I can't remember where I heard this, but I think this reference is appropriate. We are just, I think it was Star Trek or Star Wars or something. I think it was Star Trek. Ugly piece of, ugly bag of water. That's reference to, imagine be a soul that you love, the living, but yet to them we are just more. I just lost the thread. Please help me, guys. I lost the thread. Now you're talking 5 at a time. 1 at a time, please. Sorry. That. Yeah. I was just showing some classes. The Star Trek fans. I was told. Yes, it was from Star Trek. Okay, sorry. Uh, that reference. That we us that you are a soul. You know you have been a living person, a bag of water. Yeah. Bag of water. Um, but like us bodies, as they call us, um, we think they. It's weird where they are. Um, it's something we cannot touch. Sorry, that was the dog uh, playing with the toys. But we cannot touch that part physically. That's what makes it hard for us to believe. That's make us skeptic because we cannot touch. It's not physical. But being a physical makes it very hard for us to um, understand the non-physical. Like it's where they are. It's they like us sometimes after a while forgets how to be a body, be alive. They are comfortable being where they are free energy without. I was just showing a picture of a sick hole, or I think I should treat that as bureaucracy. And then I'm getting a picture of Hitler that you don't miss. Okay, they are talking about. I'm showing a picture. Why? Okay, dictatorship. Okay, I got it. That's that that knot we keep making for ourselves as physical beings. That we have every energy there exists inside, emotion. But we keep trying to want that um, uh, 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 energy that we cannot judge. We have to keep trying to make that physical, but that's not how it should be, because when it's your time as a body and it's your time to go and be on that realm of the souls with God, with the light, or with Azazel, the hell, and all that, or being in the middle, or being in another part of the universe, or whatever. You have the freedom for that. But um, those who chose to stay on Earth and be energy for Earth and by Earth and on Earth, both good and bad, that's their choice. Um, when it's your time, you will get the answer you actually need. Yes, there are some of us that can feel both sides of, I don't know how to explain it. I can use the reference from the other TV show, uh, Between the Veils. That's the best way to explain it. By the way, I like TV shows because it makes me subside a bit from the physical world. It makes me get in tune with my core. Uh, that I can tune out all the other pictures I keep seeing all day long. When I'm watching a TV show or a movie, uh, I can tune out the other movies that keep on showing in my mind. and hate people. I need some balance as well uh, in my chaos and chaos in my balance. But love, like I said, I will end this uh, with a question and explanation. Uh, if we all have that idea that the rest of the universe, it's an idea I think is far out there, but that everybody in the entire universe knows what a feeling are. No, they don't. Some existence don't, even though they are a feeling, don't know what a feeling is. I know that doesn't make sense, but something doesn't have to make sense to be true. Um, I remember when I was a kid, I literally asked my mom, what is love? I know the word, I know the good feeling it gives inside, but what is love? And she said, if you ever gonna explain what love is, you will be the first human that would be able to explain it. I cannot tell you what love is because it is unique to every single person. Uh, it's what love is to you, not me, not daddy, not stepdad, not your brothers. Love is what the feeling are giving you. And she she told me that. I asked her, then how do I tell some of the clicking noise I have in my head what love is? They keep asking. When I was a child, I heard some clicking noise in my head. I don't know what it was. Never found out. It was there, and then it's when it was never there again. It sounds like, that's the best way I can imitate it. That's how it sounds in my head. Oh, she said, you don't. They have to experience for themselves, whoever they are, what it is for them. So they have to be among either the living or the dead to know. And I really didn't get much sense in my head. But when I got older, uh, I heard my mom, because she was a communications advisor, uh, consultant. I actually helped her in her business, but not the one who went out and gave the courses and taught, but behind the scene in her company with a lot of stuff. Uh, um, Not that many knew that, but I didn't need to be the one out there. But she was a communicating consultant. And the one thing I heard her when she had to teach other say, that because they sometimes get annoyed and say, then they say, oh, I hate this, I don't understand it, or hey, this is cool, I love this. And when she had two who had a very tough time to communicate, she did this. She said, okay, you are talking past each other. You are saying the actual same thing, but you have two different understanding of the same thing. And you are using emotion to explain yourself. But emotion for you mean one thing, and the same emotion means another thing for you. It's the same feeling, but you have two different understanding of that feeling. So now she, if it was totally out of chaos, then she said, okay, here's an exercise. I want both of you, one at a time, of course, to explain to me what the feeling love, now I'm using the terms they use, or like I'm a Martian and I don't know what love is. And you do the same with hate. I'm a Martian, I don't know what hate is. I don't have any sensations. I don't know what feelings are or your interpretation. What is it? And trust me, they when they heard that and they tried to explain it, she kept saying this. Why are you keep explaining another emotion? Why are you keep explaining an emotion with another emotion? What's that emotion? And in the end, they got so annoyed. And sometimes they said, we're not getting anything out of this. Now, then she said, now I'm going to tell you your point. And my point, she said, I ask you to explain an emotion to me like I'm a Martian, a little green man, because that's something Eritrean people understood. But you kept explaining one emotion with another. What I asked you was to explain an emotion, not the different types of emotion there are, but an emotion. You cannot explain an emotion without using another emotion. And every single soul and human have a different understanding of their own emotion. And I thought that was very, very clever of my mom, because in the end, they just looked and said, yeah, that's right. What if I try to explain my message to the receiver in a way that I would like to receive a message? And she said, that's exactly what I wanted you to teach. When I learned, when you lay a message, make sure that the message you can risk of getting in return are the way you relay that. Because what you relay, you should be able to have the the emotion stability to receive it in the same way you relay it. So that's why I found out that um, uh, inside, I I got a message in my head when I woke up this today. I just had to swallow it a bit and find out what it really meant. That the past few days I have done something I haven't never done. I have been on live. I have made a YouTube channel. I have worked really hard because the other work part I have done through years, not on live, but behind the scenes. And I always been told that some point in my life I would reach a point where I had to do another hard part. And this is part of that hard part, because I am talking to a larger variety of people. And it's always hard because everything I say and do I have to be able to receive it. And I'm ready for that because I will not change who I am or what I am for anyone. Because life has shown me such kindness in every work I have ever done to get to where I am now. Um, I have so much happiness in my life, even though people see a lot of darkness because of Corona and all that. But I also see that light in the dark that shines up the dark. That the dark needs to be there, but so does the light. I see that light in the dark. Um, I see the love in all this misery that are in the world right now. But I also see a lot of people and animals are coming together, not as individuality, but as one to try to let this light spread, let this light shine. And more people are starting to accept that there are help from outside. And it's not something to be afraid of. That was one of my big issues. Um, I was having the emotion fear inside. I have had a lot of help to process this fear. A lot of good people actually here on YouTube, Steve Hoff being one of them. Um, uh, Whitey Witch, Grinch, all those I have on subscription on my channel. Uh, the Sergeant Mo family, but and CJ and all that. But actually, it was a YouTube video today that has no relation to anything I talk about. That's the weird part that made me get a message in here to uh, make this particular video I'm making now. I was just waking up and gotten that weird message. I thought, okay, we will do that tomorrow. I will go up and get my coffee, and because there are things I should have done today, but I fell asleep. I was going to do it, but my body was drained. Not my soul, my body was drained. It couldn't anymore. It said, okay, you don't want to listen, shut down. So I just got 10 hours sleep. But I sat down, poured my coffee. My son made pancakes. Yay! um, and a video for Jasco popped up. I say that sounds interesting. And I watched it. And I felt with some of the thing in the video that it was okay to comment, maybe to help a little bit, because he asked some question in the video. Maybe that could help him with his next video and stuff like that. And I was doing that without thinking about this I'm doing right now. And when that was over and thumbs up and put in list and all that, I pushed that up there where it says primal, where you can watch all of the YouTube video. And I said, oh, who am I gonna watch next? And I was just not looking at anything particularly. I was just looking at the big page of all the videos, and something said stop. I was shown a big red stop sign, a picture. I know it's hard to explain, but in my head, a big red, when you stop on a line when you drive a car before moving on, either right turn or straight ahead. A big stop sign. We don't have, or a red light. You stop for a red light. That was fucking weird. Have I done something wrong? I start questioning myself. Have I done something wrong? Have I written something wrong or wrong information to Yasko, or is something I had to what they call in English research that I have given some wrong information? That was what's on my mind, though. I think, hey, maybe I have given him some wrong information. I had better correct that for his benefit. Because I think he's make cool YouTube videos, but I didn't want to lead him the wrong way. I didn't want my message to be misinterpreted for his benefit, not for mine. And then I got this feeling that a family member came through and said, "No, it's time for you to sit down, make an explanation of what you're feeling right now. Make it live. It will record, and if anyone comes on, they can. But you can also do it without anyone coming on. And some, maybe they will see it, maybe they won't. If you look at the time, I'm actually sitting for almost an hour explaining this. So I will end it by saying, whatever comes from my channel, it comes from me, from my heart, my love, my light, that I wish I would do everything I can to spread, to help energies, not just the living, not just the dead, but our place to live. Because if we don't start taking care of each other without living on a pink cloud, or just living in anger and fear and despair, if we don't mix it up without hurting each other, without hurting the circle of life, without hurting our home, our earth, our Gaia, which I have many names, we can do it because with love. Love is not just cuddly. Love only do what's necessary. It's like God. God does what's necessary, not what you want. He, she, that energy, love, gives you what you need, not what you want. It's light. But you have to accept you, in good and bad. And you have to accept the consequences of your actions, your thought, your way of being. It's up to you to be you, not your neighbor, not your husband, not your kid. It's up to you to be you. But if you be you, and everything you do, if you can take the responsibility that it could be done to you, then you come very far. That's why I'm accepting the good, the crazy, the weird, the bad, the loving, the every emotion that I have in my core. Not anybody else that I have here in my vacuum, but my own core. I'm accepting them. Even all the bad thoughts. I'm a human being. I have bad thoughts. Um, I said I was going to end it, but sometimes endings explaining are long. Um, I'm accepting me, hair and all, uh, no teeth and uh, all the things I don't like about my own body. Even those I accept, but it's okay not to like them. But I accept they are there. That's a physical thing. Uh, I accept my core as it is, uh, because I know with 100% sure that my inner core, the core in the core, is light and love. I'm not, I cannot be happy if the people around me are not happy. I cannot feel um, uh, how should I put it? I cannot, yes, I can feel my own happiness. I can feel my own love. I can feel all that in my own core because that's like the heart of me, in another word. But when the people around me feel happy, uh, loved, uh, all that without skepticism and jealousy and all that, when they feel that, I feel it too. And that light needs to be spread. Uh, I I know now the message I got clear and was stop hiding. You have so much to offer. Get over that step and not be afraid. And I just want to thank and shout out to all the different people with different video uh, upload on YouTube. Whether it's the way CJ Fashion upload, or Wacky Witch upload, or Grunge upload, or Jasko upload, or um Explore with Fighter upload, or the Mozart, the Sergeant Mo family upload, or Ruby Shannon upload, or Steve Huff. Uh, how everybody uploads. Um, it's different realities. It's different ways to saying, in my view, the same thing. That we just approach it differently. Um, the core of everything I watch, everyone I have subscribed to, rolling with me, um, is one of them. But if you put all those together, people would probably say, "How can they? Um, they don't match up." For me, it does because it's different point of view of the same thing. Like, oh my gosh, TV, it's cool. It's all different point of saying and doing the same thing. It's just from different perspective, different sides of love. I can see that. All I wanted with this was this little explanation, past an hour, was that I'm so happy in my vacuum. The feeling you gave, every one of you gave me in my vacuum. You have all helped me, motivated me, like CJ would say, motivated me to step out of that fear. Yes, I have some fears I still have to step over, some boundaries I have to step over, but they will come when I feel I can receive the not responsibility, their action against me, that the message I'm sending out. But right now, that fear of going to make video live on a channel, um, pouring who I am out. I just want to make you know that that was a big step for me. But I can receive it. I can handle to get feedbacks now. And it doesn't matter if the feedbacks from not the people I'm shouting out here in the video, because I know they are full of love, but and they are kind of people who never would do that. But people who had that anger and haven't gotten over that step yet. It's okay not to have gotten over that step, because if you really want to go further with that step, it will get to you when you're ready. Uh, like uh, like a good Bible term, God will never give you anything you cannot handle. Um, uh, I like that. I like that term, because it says it all. Uh, Even though sometimes uh, you want strawberry and you get lemons, if you really want it or need it, you will be shown the path. It doesn't matter what direction, uh, because every energy are needed for everything to exist. Otherwise, we wouldn't exist. But I can see the common message or motivation from different angles, old and young. If you take me back, which Grinch, our age compared to Jasko's age, even though there are age barrier, the message is the same. It's just different point of views and different methods to get that message across. And I simply just uh, wanted to say, I love you all. Not in a sense that you think, oh, she just want a new husband or something. No, trust me. For my soul, for my being, for my core, my husband is meant for me and I'm meant for him. We truly have unconditional love. There's nothing I wouldn't do for him and vice versa. But we have a pact, as people will call it. I will never try to change him and he will never try to change me. And if we ever feel that our love has shifted to another person, we will tell each other, because none of us uh, would get that feeling of uh, infidelity again. But we have unconditional love. But what I mean with I love you all, I really love energy, love the light, the positivity within the negative within the positivity. Life is just as beautiful as love and every emotion are. And I want to say this. I think love is a, a bundle. It's love is, yes, it's the strongest, it's also the weakest, but love is a combination of every single emotion there exists. So when, for example, Steve Jobs said, love is the key, yeah, imagine that, a door where every explanation are, and love is literally the key. I think that's a very good reference. Love is the key is maybe give one meaning to Steve Jobs, but that was the meaning what it gave to me. Love and light that I have known my entire life. Uh, both through the good and the bad. Uh, but the message was sent and it is received. But it is received with a different perspective. And I just want to say, remember, love and light to all. And I love you guys. Bye.